Millions of Americans have recovered from COVID-19, but for some, the virus leaves behind lingering neurological symptoms that just aren't going away.
Since I was about 7, I've wanted to be an attorney, specifically the work that I do now in nonprofit. Before COVID, I was the first person in the office and the last person to leave. I first contracted COVID around the beginning of June, and it started with stomach aches, and then the headaches started, and they were pretty intense. Around that same time is also when I started coughing. It laid me out. I was bedridden for several days, and that's actually what led me to get a COVID test. They called me. It just said, "You've tested positive, you need to start quarantining," and I was absolutely floored. Shortly after that, I developed the brain fog and the fatigue. I remember it hitting me. I would try to focus on my screen, and I just couldn't do it. Emails weren't making any sense. I felt like I was moving in slow motion, and that's when I realized something was wrong. Around that time, I wrote to my boss, and I told him I need to take a day or two off, but that turned into several weeks. Definitely the most debilitating part has been dealing with the brain fog. Every day I am exhausted. Every day I get confused. I only have very short spurts of time that I can concentrate. On the most severe occasions, I literally forgot who I was, where I was. Everything in my brain just turned to white static. It feels like when you turn on the TV and you can't really focus on anything. About a month and a half ago, I attempted to return to work, but after a few weeks, it became clear that I still wasn't getting better. And that's when my boss and I started talking about, you need a new plan. For me, my work is a huge part of my identity, and I really fear that I'll never be that person again. I'll never be who I was before I had COVID. I feel like I'm just existing. I definitely don't want to just exist.
Welcome to the show, Erica. It's great to have you. Unfortunately, under these circumstances, but we're happy to talk to you, and hopefully you will shed some light on a subject that most people don't know about, but should know about it. So let's start by talking about brain fog. What does it actually feel like?
It literally does feel a bit like you're in a fog. It's difficult to concentrate. It's difficult to remember things. You're very confused all the time. It's difficult to remember simple tasks. It's difficult to think of the next word that you're looking for. So you'll even see when I'm talking, sometimes I pause, and part of that is so that I can try to remember what the next word is that I'm looking for, that I'm trying to say. I was absent-minded before, but now I really do feel like my brain is a bit broken.
And you're 31, you're very smart, you're a practicing attorney. To go through this must have just been absolutely terrifying.
No, it was. It definitely was. And, especially at the height of my illness, there was actually a couple of moments, when I had my big moments where I really couldn't think about anything, that I came out of that and I was just sitting on the bed crying.
And what have doctors said to you about this? Have they diagnosed it? Is there a prognosis? What are you hearing back from the medical professionals?
Trying to find a neurologist to go to, especially for these particular issues, was difficult because I didn't have a name. I didn't have a referral. So it's really just been me right now going back and forth with my primary care physician. And she's, doing her best to help me and to figure it out. But all she can really say for me right now is that, there is definitely something wrong.